Raptor fans, as I mentioned to you, I would be doing the video not at home. I'd be in the hotel, and this is exactly where I am. Talking about last night's Raptor game where they dropped at 125-113 to the Philadelphia 76ers and are now 1-1 so far in the preseason. We talked about it in the last video. You had a feel in this game Tobias Harris would be playing, Joel Embiid were playing, and they did. But also the Raptors didn't defend the ball very well in this game. A lot of blown coverages. And they dropped by 12, 125-113, as I mentioned. Now, it was tight for the most part of this game, but then, Philly kind of broke this game open a little bit. First quarter, you were stuck 5, 27-22. The offense wasn't cooking enough. And in that second quarter, you just could not defend at all. Raptors allowed 44 points in the second quarter alone. They scored 33, but you're minus 16 going into halftime. It's not where you want to be on the road. They try and crawl back, they get it to under a 10-point game, but to close out the third quarter, they're plus 2, 27-25, and you're down by almost 20 heading into the fourth quarter. The Raptors do a little bit of a run there in the fourth, plus 6, 33-27, but when you're up by a lot, the other team's not going to really counterpunch you a whole lot, and that's exactly what happened last night, as they dropped at 125-113, as I mentioned. But there was a lot of great performances. As we talked about in the last one, it's not a performance, not about win losses here in the preseason. It's about the veteran guys getting into their groove and see how they've developed over the course of time. And seeing new guys, whether it's new guys to the team or new guys to the NBA, kind of taking that step and kind of seeing what they're all about. And there was a lot of great positives from last night's game. Guy like Precious Achiuwa, we talked about him in game one, how he was really, really good, really effective. All over the place defensively. And he was again yesterday. 10 points, 8 boards, didn't have an assist, shot 5 of 11 from the field, and had 3 steals. And for the big man, look, we're not asking for him to be our number one option. We all know that's the case. But if he can impact us and do something like that, hey, I love it. Especially with guys like Khem Birch out of the lineup right now, you need the guy to make an impact. And Precious has been great in the first 2 preseason games. Scotty Barnes, a little bit more of an underwhelming performance. They had a really nice steal early on in the game, but again, 8 points, 3 boards, 5 dimes, shot 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line, had 2 steals in the game. He wasn't as, how do I put it? He wasn't as good as he was in game 1, right? But for a guy like Scotty Barnes, he's a rookie. We all know offensively, you're not sure what you're going to get. We know ball movement. He's very, very good at that kind of stuff. And he had 5 dimes in the game. He also had 2 steals. The offensive game is going to be a work in progress for Scotty all year long. We all know that. We come to the fact that's just what's going to happen. But again, we have to take our time with Scotty Barnes. You got to be patient with the young fella. Fred VanVleet, we talked about him in the last game and how he was very underwhelming, didn't shoot the ball very well in game 1. Obviously, it's preseason, so you don't expect much, and you're not losing your mind if a guy doesn't have a good game. But he was much better in last night's game. 17 points, 2 boards, 2 dimes, 7 of 13 from the field, 3 of 9 from 3. And Freddie's cooking when he starts those transition threes. He's feeling it at that point. He was pretty good there yesterday, but the man of the night, easily the MVP in the game, ideally in both games so far. OG Anunoby has been phenomenal so far in the preseason. It looks like he's continued his form since last year. 22 points, 4 boards, 4 dimes, 8 of 14 from the field. Where is he here? 2 of 2 from the line, 4 of 7 from three-point range, and 4 steals for the young OG. I mean, he's been phenomenal, and he was great again last night. And it's pretty wild that once Pascal Siakam does return, and hoping he's at Pascal Siakam form that was pre-COVID, and if you can have him working alongside OG, I mean, that's going to be a pretty wild, pretty lengthy scoring duo. So that's really nice. Now, Champagnie was a guy that my pronunciation was completely off, and I knew it was going to be, and you guys corrected me. 10 points, 6 boards, 1 dime, 3 of 6 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He had 2 steals and a block. This guy said in his post-game after game 1 that, look, he didn't want to go anywhere else. He wanted to be here in Toronto. And he's shown that. In the first 2 preseason games, he's made an impact, and it's really nice to see. And Gary Trent Jr. really didn't do much in game 1. Did he play? I believe he played in game 1, but didn't do a whole lot. This game, much better for Gary Trent Jr. off the bench. 12 points, 2 boards, 1 dime, 5 of 12 from the field, was 5 of 7 from the, or no, that's Mihailuk. It was 0 of 5 from three-point range, though. I mean, it was pretty ugly from Gary Trent Jr. there, but shooting from the field, the mid-range game, he was much better in this game than the last one. Now, Mihailuk is the guy that we're talking about, a lot of Raptor fans are talking about right now, because he's been very impressive scoring the basketball the first couple games, and he was great again last night. 11 points, 2 boards, 2 dimes, 5 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from three-point range. Hey, get a guy off the bench that can shoot the ball. No one's going to complain with that. You need a good bench in the NBA, and Mihailuk has done a great job so far in the couple preseason games. And Malachi Flynn, much better in Game 2. 13 points, no boards, no dimes, but he had 14. 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 of 5 from three-point range. So we're all waiting to see the development of Malachi Flynn this year. That is a very good step in the right direction for him, all right? Teams overall, though, 48% from the field for the Toronto Raptors, 30% from three-point range, 86% from the free throw line. So again, didn't shoot the ball as efficiently as they did in Game 1. And as I talked about right off the top, the defense just wasn't there. A lot of blown coverages, a lot of wide open three-point shots. And that led to a 54% field goal percentage from the Philadelphia 76ers and a 49% from three-point range. We talked about it all last season where the Raptors' three-point defense was not very good at all. And for this team to be good, they live on the inside. They have so many long players. They have so many strong guys on the inside. You think of a Khem Birch, you think of a Precious Achiuwa, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam when healthy, OG Anunoby. You can go down the list of all the big, long guys that they have on the inside that can contest shots and be great in the paint. But when it comes to the three-point shooting, you got to be able to defend the three. I'll go back to the Raptors championship year. Why were they so good? They defended the three immensely. Like they were absolutely incredible. Defending a three-point shot, and 49% from three-point range, which is not very good in the preseason. But again, it's preseason. They shot 76% from the free throw line. The only real stat that I could find in this game that was pretty good for the Toronto Raptors, and really a stat that lacked last year, was great in Game 1 of the preseason, and it was great again. The second chance points, plus 12 for the Toronto Raptors in the second chance points. That's very, very nice to see moving forward. Speaking of moving forward, the next game for the Toronto Raptors is Game 3 of the preseason in Boston at TD Garden on Saturday night at 7 p.m., all right? A very, very good test. No matter, if they're putting their healthy guys in, it'll be a very nice test for the Toronto Raptors there on Saturday night, all right? So, guys, that is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed OG Anunoby's performance there yesterday, smack the like button to appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you isn't already. Comment down below. Thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game, what'd you like, what'd you not like from yesterday's basketball game for the Toronto Raptors. Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM to all that great stuff. The Instagram link is down below as well. So follow up there if you have not done so already, and I will talk to you guys Leafs edition on, I believe it's Saturday night as they are taking on, oh my goodness, is it Montreal or Ottawa? I believe it's Ottawa at home. I believe that's who they're facing on Saturday night. As for the Toronto Raptors, as I mentioned, their next game is on Saturday as well against the Boston Celtics in Boston at 7 p.m. All right, so you know what, guys? Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys then.